I'm Anarchy. I'm with Rob Moz. This is Mozzcast. What's going on? We have a special guest today. It's Dr. Teeth. So we got Dr. Teeth on today. We're talking about the new gaming or console wars, I guess, going on, right? So
they're not new.
They're
not new.
That's true. So I see a lot of people posting about, the trouble that they've had buying Xbox Series X's and PlayStation 5s, and what a pain in the ass it is. Bots are buying everything up. I just looked on eBay the other day. PlayStation 5s are still hitting $1,000 a piece.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But if you notice, they're all sitting though. People aren't doing what they were. You know what I mean?
Patience.
They're not buying them. They're not. Some people are, let's be honest, because some people are going to be impatient and not waiting. These scalpers know it, but people aren't doing it the same way they were. They're not.
There's a lot. There's a lot on the listings right now. There's a lot. But there are some that are still hitting $1,050.
Can you say stimulus?
Stimulus. Got their government stimulus check and shit, just like their government cheese.
Yeah, got their stimulus. That's probably why I didn't look to see what Xbox Series X's are going for. At the moment,
about 700 to 900, I think.
7 to 9.
More like about that.
Right. Is that like a package or just a straight up system?
Just the console. If people are buying them, they're upping it. Sometimes they're doubling their money, but PlayStation is the more popular system
at the moment.
So they're the bigger brand. Last generation killed Microsoft.
What now? PlayStation has two different systems, right?
Microsoft does as well. PlayStation's one has a disk drive, one doesn't. Everything else is exactly the same.
Everything else is the same.
Microsoft system. The smaller one doesn't have a disk drive. The hard drive is smaller, and the graphics processor is a little bit less.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
it's basically it's a budget console. The CPU is the same. The GPU is different. So whatever, what is it? I want to say it's 64 compute units it has in it in the Series X. The Series S also has that many compute units, but the teraflop compute power for graphics is only 4 teraflops in the Series S and 12 in the Series X.
Yes.
So, now, is it a waste buying an Xbox right now? There's no new games for it, right? There's no content for that.
Well, there is and there isn't. That's been such a misconception. Now, there's no exclusives, but it depends on the ecosystem you're in, what you enjoy playing. First off, anything else. If you enjoy being in the Microsoft ecosystem, then be in the Microsoft ecosystem. If you want to be in the Sony ecosystem, do that as well. It's just preference. You know what I mean? There are games that Sony has right now that Microsoft doesn't. I believe they're rectifying that problem, but that's still, unfortunately, probably 2 years out, maybe 3, unfortunately. They just bought what is it?
They just bought
Bethesda.
A lot of game studios. Microsoft just put out a lot of money.
They bought what is the parent company for Bethesda? I can't think of their name right now. But anyway, they have like 7 or 8 different studios underneath them. One of them being Bethesda, which is
they make Fallout
and Elder Scrolls and all that. Microsoft owns that company now. Well, as of probably February, once the deal's all through, Microsoft will own.
So there's good things coming.
Yes.
Now, in my opinion, I don't see. I mean, I get the reason for that people buy the Series S, the lower version of the new.
For your kids, whatever,
budget. It's $100 cheaper, right?
It's actually $200. $200. It's only $290. It's $299.
So if I spout any wrong information, Dr. Teeth, please slap me with your balls or something,
Here they come. It's a good thing you're wearing glasses to protect yourself.
Yes.
Don't want you to go blind 10 minutes in.
But man, I don't know. If you're going to spend the money, I just think, buy the better system. That's just my.
Well, that's
opinion.
because because you're looking for the graphics. You're looking for that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But somebody who has a 12-year-old that all he wants to do is play Fortnite.
And I'm a financial mess, so don't listen to me. Please, for the love of God, don't listen to me.
I mean, and that machine for $299 can do ray tracing. Okay, there is no gaming PC that you can build for $299 that will do ray tracing.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that is.
You know what I mean?
That is actually a good point.
Yeah, you can't build something that will do ray tracing for $299. Can't do it. Again, not for me. I got the big dog, but that's me. That's my choice. But I'm not going to say like Thanatos on Xbox Live. He bought the
Series
S, but he actually regrets it because it doesn't do. He at first he's like, "Oh, this is all right," and then remember as he said, "I don't know why." He said, "I shouldn't have bought it." He's more of a PlayStation guy now.
He's more of a PlayStation guy anyway, right? So now let's talk about the design a little bit. I like the tower, the black tower of the Xbox.
How would you know? You didn't even take it out of the box, you motherfucker.
That's coming up. Yes.
Yeah.
I dig the PlayStation design too, but it's big. It's very big.
Yeah.
You know,
it's huge. It's very big.
Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, it's kind of what Microsoft did, I think, with the Xbox One last generation. They made it so big because they didn't want it to overheat. I feel like Sony did the same thing. I think they may have overcompensated. I don't know because I don't know what kind of heat that would have put off in a different size box. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. I think they kind of that, and they wanted to give it a futuristic look. To me,
sure.
My opinion.
Now we've been gaming for a long time, and Rob, I know years ago you used to play the big hits at the time, Unreal Tournament, Battlefield. You were a big Battlefield guy at the time, right? And me and Dr. Teeth actually met in 2006. And
that is correct, sir.
This is a funny story, Rob, because you actually know and don't even know how we got together. It's like a contradiction in terms. But so Taz at work, and you know him as, and I'll probably cut this out so I don't say his real name on live, but Gary O'Corian said,
"Oh, okay.
You know that guy. That guy."
And you can shake your head because I just want to say his name and shake my head. But said, "You got to play this game, dude. You got to play Gears of War." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess I'll try it, right?" And I bought Gears of War, and we were playing one night, and everybody could jump in the game so easily. You could.
Man, the lobby system was
killer.
It was the best.
Dude.
It was the best lobby system that's ever been.
Literally ever been. And people would get done playing, they jump out. You could jump back in. You could rotate the maps, but we never been able to duplicate that.
They could. They just don't want
that system. Like, yeah, they could, but it's never been that easy. And we play all night long, dude. Me,
oh my God,
Dr. Teeth. We met a guy named Dark Faith, and Sergeant Rum, who we're both good friends with now.
He's the one that introduced me to Gears.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
and we played Gears of War 1 for years. 5 years until I don't even remember when Gears of War 2 came out. About
what year was it? Because I had my shoulder surgery, like the night,
this was
the
PC,
day.
Right?
What's that?
Was it PC?
No, Xbox 360.
Xbox 360.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it was Xbox 360.
Get into way back machine.
Yeah,
you know
wow.
A good system too. Love me some Xbox 360.
Yeah, that was Microsoft's best system to date.
I would agree. And I got back into gaming after a few. I had bought an Xbox, played Halo, whatever, beat Halo, and then ended up buying an Xbox 360. And I met Dr. Teeth and a bunch of friends that I still talk to this day. And I've gone to Dr. Teeth's wedding. He's been to mine.
That is correct.
And just one of my really, really great friends that I've met and still keep in contact with. And I love Xbox for that reason, right?
Yep.
Yep. And like I said, the Gears of War, that's another episode for the Gears of War franchise, and they're up to Gears of War 5, but it's not very good. But that's a whole nother episode. You hear,
that one.
You hear the groan down there, right? And that's where that's what Gears of War 5 is. The big groan.
Makes me so sad. Tear rolls down his cheek.
So let me ask you guys this: I was able to get an Xbox Series X because of my friend Dr. Teeth. He got another one, and and sent it to me. And I'm kind of waiting for I'm building a new studio, so I'm waiting for that to get done to set up the Xbox Series X. I think. It's actually going to be.
You don't know what you're missing.
It's actually going to be done quick. We might be able to get it done like in a week, to be honest. The studio. So
let's get to it.
Can't wait. But for the PlayStation 5, I was ready. I chose the PlayStation 5, and I like the Xbox better. I like the Xbox ecosystem better, but I chose the PlayStation 5 for the games because I fell in love with the Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man game. And
badass game.
On the launch day of the PlayStation 5, I was on BestBuy.com. I was logged in, I hit, boom, buy it now, done. Like, it was that easy.
Yeah.
Reloaded the page.
Easy for me.
Boom, hit it again, I got 2. Right? That quick, boom, boom. And then the site crashed. The website, Best Buy's website crashed. I couldn't get back onto the Best Buy website, right? So then I read people were furious, right? We can't get the system. Then the bots got them in 30 seconds or 45 seconds after they went live. Yeah. Like everything, Rob, like with the toys we talk about, the toys go live on Target or wherever, and they sell out in 30 seconds. The same thing happened with the PlayStations. Sure. But I got lucky. So I'm waiting. I waited for days and days, and they never sent me my confirmation. And I was talking to Dr. Teeth about this, and it was like, man, what the hell's going on? So eventually, right before they shipped, they canceled one of my orders. Not exactly sure why. It just said it's because of stock. It gave me a generic message or whatever.
Well, not to interrupt, but when I got my Xbox, now you signed in under your account and all that stuff. Right. You have a card link, so boom, you could pay. Mm-hmm. Here not too long ago, I picked up the one I picked up for you. There's a guy I follow on Twitch, or not Twitch, I'm sorry, on Twitter. He's also on YouTube. His name is D-Batch. He does some Xbox podcasts and stuff I listen to. And he will tweet and let you know, hey, Xbox, or Best Buy's getting some stock of PlayStation or Xbox, and I don't know where he gets his information, but he seems to be pretty accurate because I went on and I got yours. And I tried to get another one because I figured my godson would want one, and it would only let me purchase one.
Okay.
Because they didn't want someone to buy 5 of them like the bots are doing. So anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. I mean, I was not able to get an Xbox Series X, the standalone system. I had a couple bundles in my cart for GameStop, and I just couldn't. I didn't want to spend $800 or $900 for a bundle.
It's ridiculous what they do with those bundles.
Of something, but I mean, it went in there so easy, and I think they even lasted a little bit longer on the launch of the Xbox Series X. But
yeah, they absolutely did.
Couldn't justify paying, and this happened twice. 2 of the days they sold out eventually, and then like 4 or 5 days later they had another batch, and I was able to do it again. But I just didn't want to spend the $800 or $900 to get
I know
and then Dr. Teeth gave me one at retail price, and it was awesome. So thank you, sir, for that.
Of course.
But
nothing is free.
That's right. You're gonna pay later. Here comes my balls.
I will. But I guess I have a question for you, guys. Is this a good time for a console launch?
No, absolutely not. It's a terrible time for a console.
I think
launch.
So too.
See, I see it the other way. There's so much free money floating around right now that, why not? Why wouldn't they take advantage of it?
I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
I feel like it's not so much about the free money because, I mean, let's be honest, it's not free. Sooner or later, it'll get back. But it's like that money, like, for instance, when the first round of stimulus went through, everybody bought themselves a brand new TV. You couldn't go get a TV at Walmart. The display models were off the wall. That money was meant, sure, to stimulate the economy. That's what it was there for. Probably could have stimulated a different way.
I've seen,
you know what I mean?
I've seen memes on Facebook where
and
people
shit.
are walking through Walmart and they take a picture and they see TVs lined up one after the other, and they say each TV is like on sale for $568 to match the stimulus payment that everybody got, the $600.
Smart Walmart.
I mean, money's needed. I feel like it's not needed for a game console, but that's just me being it. But in my case, like I've worked completely just like you guys. I've worked through the whole pandemic. So I haven't been in a position where I needed that money. So I was able to purchase it just because I had the money. But of course I got the stimulus as well, and I put it in the bank, and I'm going to use it for something else. You know what I mean? Like, that's just me. Who am I to say what people spend their big ones? And if they don't vibrate, get them out of here. I mean, who am I to say what people are to do with their money? It's their money. Whatever they want to do,
and
let them do.
Without a doubt.
A lot of people are gaming right now because there's just nothing else to do. A lot of people are gaming and
that's what I'm saying. That's why it was almost a perfect storm for an Xbox and a PlayStation drop.
Yeah,
a new system.
I don't think a new console though. You already had 2 consoles out.
I kind of feel like the Xbox
One
what I mean? And PS4 had another year.
Not even that. Sure. I mean, like in a time where you are right now, where a game itself you're going to buy, like for instance, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, $60.
Mm-hmm.
New console $500 plus another $60 if you want to get Valhalla. You know what I mean? Like and their manufacturing right now is down. We had to get a new controller for the Xbox upstairs for the wife for the Xbox One, which you couldn't buy an Xbox One controller because they didn't have any at all.
I was right in the middle of that too. I was looking to buy an Elite controller. Nobody had them in stock at the time. And I spent about a week or two looking, and Walmart.com had one in stock, or said at my store right down the road, the controller was in stock. They had one.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there and got it, and that was the last one I saw for weeks again. Like, a lot of people are getting into...
it's not even that. The guy at GameStop told me that they are at 25% manufacturing capacity right now due to the pandemic. So they're focusing most of their manufacturing on the Series X controllers, not Xbox One controllers. Which, by the way, if you don't know, the Series X controller will work with the Xbox One.
Okay,
vice versa. Xbox One controller will also work with the Series X.
That's pretty
cool. Right here, if you see, I still have the Series 1 Elite controller. This is they have Series 2 that has rechargeable batteries and all that. I'm not down with rechargeable batteries inside a controller.
Series 2
because
Elite controller.
Yeah, if that battery fails inside, your controller is dead. Another $200. Where I have a battery pack. See that little orange thing? That's my battery pack there. I just go buy.
I like my wired stuff.
Well, no, this can be wired as well.
Yeah.
It can be wired and wireless. But like if this battery fails, I just put a new battery in and it goes again. If your battery fails, your controller has to be plugged in all the time.
Right.
Or you're shit out of luck.
Yeah, and I like that though. I like I just like having stuff wired in. I know it doesn't.
Yeah,
really make
I
a
get
difference.
you there.
Half a millisecond difference or whatever. We're probably not
get you that extra kill in Call of Duty, goddammit.
Get me that extra kill. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I wish they had waited till the new year. I think just because to put people in a better money situation, maybe because the stimulus just came out. But I know.
I got a question.
Yeah,
I got a question real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off. Now, in the past, when they did these releases, was it always in the same year they both released?
Usually, yeah. Except for the 360. The 360 came out 1 year before the PlayStation 3. I'm pretty sure.
Is it always like right before the holidays?
Yeah. Anything because that's the big hot Christmas present. Just like the Tickle Me Elmo from our generation. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You still have one.
You tickle my elbow. But yeah, that's usually the way it is. It's just like I think they don't do iPhones and shit on holidays, do they?
To be
They
honest,
could do an iPhone in the middle of friggin' fall and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Well, now I mean, you buy one iPhone.
It's usually November, right? For the console wars.
Yeah, usually. Just like when they like most games, like your Call of Duties, your big launches are always holiday, Destinies, all that. It's always holiday because that's when everybody's spending money. Oh, I'll buy little Timmy his Destiny game. You know what I mean? It's all about that. In that last quarter, they want to get that last big quarter in before the fiscal year resets, which I think is
right.
February, right? Isn't that when the fiscal year resets? It's weird because it's like in the middle.
I should know this because the government goes by that.
October. It's October.
Is it October?
Right? Isn't it?
No, I think it's it's weird because it resets in the next year. Like the fiscal
I think October
year
is
ends
Q3. To be honest.
Yeah, I want to say it's like February or March or something weird.
Yep.
Something like that.
But yeah, I wish they would have waited a little bit longer for a couple of reasons. New Year, people might be in better position. The stimulus hit, and I just don't feel like this was and I wish that Microsoft had their exclusive. I just wish they had their big title at launch.
Well, here's a bunch with that. First off, the studio's name was ZeniMax.
Okay,
is the parent company of Bethesda, which is who Microsoft bought, which has id Software and a couple other studios. Anyway, it hit me. I wanted to throw it out.
Nice. I caught it.
Yeah, but the thing is Microsoft wanted to get out of the Xbox One generation as soon as they could because they floundered it. And it wasn't. It was a matter of. Like when that console first launched, they had some nice games. They weren't my cup of tea, weren't my bag, so to speak. But they had like Rise, Son of Rome. What was the other one?
I still have that.
Yeah, Sunset Overdrive, which was okay. And Sony, they released. I thought it was okay. It wasn't the best game ever. And Sony had some indie games. They didn't have any real big exclusives coming out at launch. Couple years into the generation, you had Sony coming out with God of War, and then Microsoft did its typical Gears and all that. And then Microsoft was radio silent because they were gambling with the Xbox One. It's the one box to roll them all, does TV and all that stuff. And it was a bad idea. And Don Matrick, the guy that was in charge, that's what he pushed with Kinect and all that stuff. And
there were some bad decisions, Rob. Like when the Xbox One launched, the Kinect for the camera, everybody bitched about. The Xbox was supposed to be like your cable provider where you could plug in your, get your Comcast to your Xbox, and it didn't work good at all. I mean, I remember having to reset the sucker all the time. I tried it. And the Kinect, the camera, watching everything, and people are going to watch you, and it's an invasion of privacy and all this kind of stuff. Now everybody has something like that.
I was just going to say,
everybody
Microsoft was ahead of their time. Yeah. They were ahead of the game.
But everybody bitched about that stuff. Like everybody did.
Yeah. Microsoft got crucified.
They did.
For what people like. I have it now. I have Google and all that shit. Well, it's my wife's. I can't stand it. It doesn't work. Not even half the time. For me and for her, it's like, what do you need? It makes me so mad. I just want to choke somebody. But that's just the way it is. It's a.
And I have an Amazon Echo down here too.
Yeah.
But everybody literally bitched about Microsoft's ideas. And what was the other big one? They just wanted to be digital, right? The game, they wanted everything to be digital.
We got screwed. Do you know how many people, like, you could have shared your Xbox Live Gold with up to 10 people? Had people, because when everything was going digital, you were supposed to do like a friends and family thing.
Right.
So 10 people could have played online with your account, with your sharing your stuff. Mm-hmm. Everybody complained, oh, I don't want all digital. I don't want always online. And now everything is almost all, it's like 50% digital, and every game you play is online.
Yeah. That's
was trying to hold that sneeze back. That was horrible. My eyes are tearing.
But the always online thing, people bitch about. Why would you want a console that's always online? When was that, Dr. T? 2013? 2013.
Yes. That's when I quit smoking.
Exactly. Yep.
Now, now everybody's always online. Everybody has a fucking camera, or some kind of Google piece, or Nest, or not Nest. The stuff.
I have a Nest. It's with thermostat.
The heater guy was just here, so that's why I got Google Nest in my head. The echoes and the cameras and all that kind of stuff. But
absolutely.
But I also believe that Microsoft was ahead of its time with all the stuff that they wanted to do, and people just bitched them out. It was crazy how many people were against that kind of stuff, and there's no right way to say this or wrong way to say this, but Sony won that console war.
They did, like I've been, I was working at that really crappy place that I hated, and that's when I started listening to a lot of Xbox podcasts and stuff on YouTube.
Dr. Teeth, hold on, I gotta say, Dr. Teeth got out of his career in gay porn.
Yeah, back in 2016,
right.
My butt was hurting. I couldn't do it no more.
Right.
And bad teeth. Anyway, but so I started listening to a bunch of these Xbox podcasts on YouTube and all that stuff. And again, I'm more of an Xbox guy. I don't have, I don't have as much time to game, so I don't have time. I want to get a PlayStation 5 for a couple games, but it's not like I got to have one right now. It's because the gaming I do, I come down, I play some Call of Duty or some Gears or something with my buddies, or I play some Assassin's Creed upstairs, me and the wife, and that's about it. That's because I work and all that, how it is, real life stuff,
Yeah.
It's so for me, but I started listening to all these podcasts, and I followed these guys on Twitter and all this stuff, and it's. I'm not mentioning any of their names because I'm not calling them out publicly and all that. It's not my place to do or thing to do, but it's like 12-year-olds arguing about whose bicycle is better. It is ridiculous. I don't understand. Why do you care? Xbox ain't got no games. Well, you play PlayStation, then you're fine, aren't you? There's no point in you complaining and crying because Xbox don't have no games. If you play PlayStation and like PlayStation, who cares if Xbox don't have no games? But that's their tagline. And there's so many of them, and they have YouTube channels. Some of these guys have 60,000 followers, and they make videos, and it's all day. You'll get 3 videos a day.
You can't beat our 24 subscribers. I'm just telling you.
That's right. You got these guys beat. No, but it's. And the couple of the guys I used to listen to, and they were Xbox, and then Xbox, I guess you could say, stopped doing what they liked, so they jumped ship and went to PlayStation, and now all they do is point out Microsoft's flaws and all how terrible. But you don't. For me,
I hate
obviously
I hate that stuff because why can't you like both?
Or one or the other, and not talk shit about the other guy's choice.
Right.
Sure.
You know?
And I'm telling you, man, guys, I loved that first Spider-Man game. I just loved it.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, Rob?
That's the last.
I had like a sawdust attack or something
That's
going on
the last
here.
of that Corona getting out of there.
I think it is.
I'm muting the mic, but man, Jesus Christ. It's like sawdust coming through the vent or something. I don't know what's going on here.
It's your brother Frank, dude. He's hammering you through the wall with sawdust. It might be.
Man.
He said he's fixing something, right? Or they're working on something. Frank.
Yeah. I keep on every time he starts banging, I'm muting the mic. So, oh my God.
Fortunately, it's really light. As long as somebody's talking, you can't hear it.
Yeah, we can't hear you at all.
No, I'm muting the mic. The dude is right outside my window.
Be glad he ain't using a chainsaw.
Rob would be dead.
Like, no.
We'd see the cloud in the cameras. All we would see is the cloud of sawdust getting him. Oh shit! Sorry, Rob. But anyway, Anyway, like I hate that shit, dude. Everything we do or that we like seems to be toxic, right?
It is so bad.
The toys that we collect and the video games that we play, and there's a G.I. Joe just released the Cobra Vipers that are Target exclusive, right?
Let's not talk about that.
And people are going crazy. Fuck everybody who's reselling these Vipers that are getting them, that are able to get them. Dude, it's crazy.
Sure.
You know,
I'm not against scalping. I'm all for it.
I am to a point. I think
if there's money to be made, somebody's going to make it.
Sure.
Might as well be give.
I just wish that, and I understand that for Xbox and PlayStation, there's only so many units they can get out for a certain period of time, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I wish the distribution was better. There was a time that you could, okay, I want this new console that's coming out. Let's just go to GameStop and pre-order the thing, and you get it.
You know, I never had any issues with pre-orders. Like when the Xbox One, when they announced it that day at E3, I left my house, drove to my GameStop, and pre-ordered. When they did the Xbox One X, same thing. Boom, Project Scorpio, ordered it.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it was different because they didn't have your typical E3, and everybody knew that Microsoft was launching it because they put it on the Game Awards back in 2019. The Game Awards, they showed the console, which was kind of a crazy thing to do. So everybody knew it was coming, so everybody's ready for that announcement date. The problem that you had, especially right now, because I went to get in line, I left work early that day. I went to get in line, and GameStop had 7.
Yeah,
right. 7 people in that line.
Yep.
So,
same in Vineland. Yeah.
Right. So I didn't get it. So then I came home and I just kept beating up F5 on my keyboard through Best Buy, and I ended up getting one. But and websites in 2020. There's no way. What was that in the background? I was just trying to go through it.
I think his brother is coming through the wall again.
It sounded like someone farted. I was just trying to.
Yeah,
I was just like, keep going, just keep going. So I was like, oh,
I gotta get the hammer. And when it starts, I can just be like, just like pretend
someone's incontinent, and I'm not gonna say it out loud.
Just shit your pants. It's be a man.
Yeah, someone done shit themselves. Just keep talking.
If you cut one loose like that, you'd be through your chair on the floor. Straight up.
I hope Frank does this every episode.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
you have this really strange guy making noise in the background. There must be something wrong with him.
Construction going on next door, so if you hear the banging and everything, I'm trying to do my best, but
you're doing,
and I'm having a sneezing attack and from the sawdust, and it's not working out well, but we're good.
Not your day. It's not your day.
Oh man!
But anyway,
there's only one solution. It's to kill Frank.
That's what it is. That's the solution. You should probably cut that one out too, because he winds up dead and shit. We're like Mr. Turpin.
Oh Jesus!
But yeah, and I mean, like when I got your Xbox from Best Buy, that I was able to pick up and send to you, Best Buy changed their system. Instead of you just going on and ordering, you go in, you put it in your cart, you go to pay. Then they'd send you a verification code in your email. So you'd have to go to your email, get the code, go back and put the code in before the sale would go through.
That's pretty good. I mean, at least it stopped the website from crashing, right?
And another thing they did, instead of, if they had, I'm just going to throw out a number, they had 1 million Xboxes that day to sell. They didn't just load up 1 million Xboxes and let them go. They were releasing it periodically. You go on and it would say waiting for more stock to become available, and then you'd watch, and then it would turn yellow and you could add it to your cart, and then whenever that allotment was sold, it would say the same thing until they were out, and then it would say sold out.
Definitely
it wouldn't just say
definitely a better way to do it,
yes,
as opposed to their website constantly crashing or continuously crashing over and over again, and people getting frustrated. Then the site doesn't come back up for 5-10 minutes while they're working to get everything sorted out. But that's a better way to do it.
It was absolutely
sure.
Yes, it worked out way better.
I like the a lot of toy people or companies are doing now the made to order business where nothing's made yet. They put out the pre-order and they sell a million figures or whatever, and then they know how many they have to make. Now, I don't know if that would work well for something as big or as expensive as a video game console, but I don't know. I like that model.
That's a good model. I feel like, though, the difference is because your custom made to order figure, they're only going to manufacture so many. They're not going to make any more. Microsoft and Sony are going to manufacture these systems for the next 5 to 7 years.
That's true too. Yeah.
So it's not, I mean, I imagine for the launch run, but then, then once those are gone, like Microsoft has been and Sony has been as well. Every now and again, Target is supposed to, I think, restock tomorrow, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Not sure. I'm going to check in the morning when I get up for work and see if there's a restock. If there is, I'm going to try and get a PlayStation 5, and my wife's going to yell at me.
Nice.
What are you going to do? But other than that, but that's what they've been doing, is periodically restocking whenever they can. You're in a global pandemic. What's that?
You think this is a ploy by them?
No, I don't, because the demand is there.
That's what I'm saying. To create the demand, impulse buying. Impulse buying is a thing, and that's why I don't think we'll ever see pure pre-order, type of thing happening, because impulse buying is a real thing.
Yeah, but I think impulse buying on that level, I don't know, because I mean,
you're talking a million units of just impulse buying, honestly. Because there's a demand, because you're going on, you bought 3,
Well, but I only bought those to get them to other people. I didn't buy them for me.
There's a demand, and
sure.
You're F5ing and you're searching and you're going to everything. It's impulse buying, you want it. Everybody wants the new item.
Yeah, so but I mean, you're only targeting those people.
Yeah, but if you just put things up for pre-order and they know how many to make and sell, it's not going to work as far as a consumer.
What you'll still run into, though, which is what we were talking about earlier with the bots, just like with the pre-order figures that you got. Whenever they put a pre-order up, you still got to go onto the website. You still got to place your order. Whether they have the unit already made or not, you're still going to have bots come in and buy them because they know somebody wants them.
I see that a little bit, because when I'm in Target, one of the first things I do is walk by the PlayStation section and just take a quick look to see if they have any.
If there's one in,
or walk around to the Xbox, look in the case, see if there's any Xbox Series X's, and then I know there's 100 people in my city that are doing the same thing and being, maybe if they have one, I'll just buy it.
Right. Yeah. And there is impulse there. You're absolutely right. But to get them on the shelf, they can't sell them if they don't get them on the shelf.
I don't think they can make them fast enough right now for
right now.
Anytime
anything new, just like a custom figure, the only thing that you're never going to really see a run on is a TV. Gotta have the newest TV ever. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Cell phones,
I tasted all year was that Popeye chicken sandwich. And that thing,
I think it's good.
I hated it. Ugh.
Did
really?
you? But I've never had one.
It's good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but it was in such. I mean, you thought this thing was a friggin' filet mignon.
People were fighting over it.
Fighting over this goddamn sandwich, and it was just a ploy. Why couldn't they make more chicken?
That was definitely. I'm not even gonna. Yeah, you're right about that one for sure. But with these consoles, I don't believe that.
It's old strategy, man. It's old strategy. And
sure.
Big companies, they know how to do it the best. They have the money to do it, and pull you right in. Now, to get off that a little bit, any bugs? Any bugs with the new systems?
I had a little bit of a bug personally, nothing major. And people are still complaining about it. I'm on a group in on Facebook. It's Xbox Series X group, and a couple guys are having, which I had it as well. It quit, so I don't know what happened, but playing Call of Duty Cold War has been crashing my console. It completely shut my console off.
That first weekend that we played, it happened a bunch of times, for him. The PlayStation 5 had this thing that if you're playing the new Spider-Man game, it might happen on other games, but I know it was a big deal on the Miles Morales game, that if your PlayStation was in had rest mode on,
Yeah.
it would completely reboot the system or turn it off, and then some people even bricked the systems completely.
Yeah.
Now, I don't like rest mode, Rob, especially for like the computer stuff. I don't put the rest mode on. I don't let the monitor sit idle for more than, like, I just don't do it. I don't have any of that stuff on. So literally, I didn't even know about the bug, and the first thing that I do is turn off, make sure I don't use rest mode on my PlayStation. So I never had that issue, right? But people are saying that there was a few that it bricked the systems.
I heard of a couple other things. Microsoft, on Microsoft's side, which I guess either the controllers are desyncing and some of them are getting stick drift. And on Sony, that's what I've heard of so far. On Sony's side, there was some people that are having problems with their GPUs. They were bad out of the box. And a couple reports. Now, I don't know. It obviously isn't a widespread thing, or everybody would have heard about it.
Was that a couple of those big YouTube guys that were complaining about that?
Yeah, there was some YouTube guys talking about it, and then there was another thing. The what is it? The haptic feedback on that controller is starting to fail on some of the controllers
already.
I don't know if it's a widespread thing. Again, this is just a couple people complaining. Other than that, I haven't heard of anybody's system overheating. I've heard, like, Anarchy was saying about some systems bricking from games, and I think I heard that there was a couple times that some games bricked a couple Xboxes as well, but I haven't heard of anything major like Red Ring of Death or anything like that.
Have they fixed that stuff with updates at this point?
As far as I know, they have. I mean, short of the PlayStation controller, which that's a physical thing. Obviously, the motors that give the tension on those triggers. But that's what I've heard. That and some of the GPUs that Sony had problems with. And I think Microsoft had a couple as well, but I think there was a little bit more on the Sony side. I don't know that 100%. That's obviously your GPU is bad. Your GPU is bad. They got to replace the console. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah, sure.
So,
And going back to kind of my reason for getting the PlayStation over the Xbox, I'm hearing really good things about performance-wise on the Xbox now too. Like Cold War, people are saying Call of Duty Cold War runs super awesome on the Xbox Series X.
It does.
So that's pretty cool. You're going to get the faster loading times as well, and 60 frames per second, and just better all around gameplay, right?
Yeah, you know what's bugging me now is now these consoles are capable of 120 frames per second. I don't know if Call of Duty itself is, because I haven't looked, because right now I don't have a TV that does 120 frames.
Me neither. Yeah, same here.
So now I got to upgrade my TV, which is another bunch of money.
Yeah, but you love some TVs.
I do, but I've been off the TV train for a while, man. I bought that, which let me tell you, bought it. I have an OLED upstairs. I don't know if you guys have OLEDs or not. It's a beautiful picture, but it gets burning. I burn in on mine, and you only notice it in certain areas. Like if I didn't point it out, you wouldn't see it. But I've got burning. Now, if I had one down here, it'd probably be less so because it's not on as constant,
right?
But yeah, OLEDs are it's a thing,
and
it's definitely a thing.
That's a good point. I don't have a TV that can run the Series X at the full capacity,
120
right
frames, right?
120 frames per second. So what do you do? Do you upgrade your TV too? This turns into a big.
It starts getting expensive.
It starts getting expensive.
There goes all your stimulus.
There goes your $600, $587 stimulus money.
Well, and I'm trying to start, Twitch streaming and shit, getting drunk and talking shit, and I have the Elgato HD 60S Plus, which is a Best Buy exclusive, which I didn't know till here recently. It does the 4K 60 frames per second pass through. It only streams at 1080p, 30 frames per second. It's whatever. It's a stream. I mean, but to get to 120 frames, I can't pass through my Elgato for 120 frames because it'll only pass through 60 frames. So I got to wait for them to
do an upgraded one, right?
Yeah, which is going to cost me more. Well, I mean, you know what I mean? So more money. So it's like 6 of one, half dozen of the other. When you start spending it, you can't stop. You know, the only thing I'll say that Microsoft has got going right now, and some people talk shit, is Xbox Game Pass is one hell of a deal.
That's true. Xbox Game Pass
so many games.
Yeah, it is a good deal now. It
is.
Can't even
and it's going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to. I mean, right now you can all the EA access is now included.
Oh, that's right. It's now included into your Game Pass.
And I'm hearing that that Ubisoft, that Uplay or whatever it is, I'm hearing that might be coming to it as well. So you'll start getting Ubisoft titles. I don't know. That's rumor I'm hearing. So you're getting right now. Now you're not getting EA titles day and date. You're just not. They're not going to give those titles out.
No,
but
you just get the stuff that's in their the library, the older stuff.
Sure. Like I was just reading a thing. Battlefield 4 has more fucking players in it than the newest Battlefield.
Wow. Okay.
And I was like, I haven't played Battlefield 4 in a long time. Maybe I'll have to download that and see what's up. So that's the but either way, so you get all those EA games, you get all the Xbox Studios games, which is all the Gears of War, all the Halos, all that stuff. Plus they have third-party games in there, and now they own Bethesda, which has id Software, or they own ZeniMax, which has id Software and Bethesda and like 5 or 6 other studios, and they're all making games. Doom, as a matter of fact, is one of the ones that Bethesda makes. Now Microsoft owns Doom. So that whole Xbox has no games. Yeah, you can keep saying that for a little while, but then
right.
That's all going to change.
There's no doubt in my mind that the Xbox Game Pass is a great deal for.
It is.
For $14.99 a month, and I've always pushed. I've never paid full price for Xbox Game Pass. I always found a deal at Best Buy, or for a year you get it for half the price or whatever. I got
my shit a year for $1.
I did too. Yeah, when they first did it, they offered it
when
for $1.
When they screwed up that ad, yeah. But it's almost over, and I'm sad.
I just got charged. I just got charged last week $14.99, and I was like, "What? Somebody hacked my account?" No, my membership expired, and Microsoft charged me the first time ever, I think, dude, that I've ever been charged full price. And I'm like, "Oh man, now I gotta go find me a deal on Xbox Game Pass so I can play it."
Yeah, mine starts March, is when mine runs out. And I'm very sad about it.
So Rob is a big zombies guy. I think an Xbox Series X would run that zombies pretty good, dude.
Oh, it would. And if you like zombies, sir, Back 4 Blood comes out in June.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Did you ever see Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you better stop rolling your eyes, goddammit. Well, it's a spirit. Basically, it's a spiritual successor. It's by the same team, but I think Valve owns the Left 4 Dead game. So now it's Back 4 Blood, but it's the same thing. I'm so excited. Like, I was deep into Gears when the first 2 Left 4 Deads came out, and then we ended up playing them later on, and I enjoyed the hell out of them. Everybody's like, I don't want to play Left 4 Dead. I'm like, what do you mean? This is the greatest game ever.
Dagger Team is looking forward to him some new Left 4 Dead or back.
I got me Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, I think, on my hard drive, where I can
What's it called? What's the new one called again?
Back 4 Blood.
Back 4 Blood. Okay.
Yes. And there was actually a PC beta here. I'm not a PC guy, so I didn't, or an alpha.
Was there an alpha? Beta. Okay. We'll have to look into that. But
I don't think it's the guy D-Batch that I follow on Twitter was giving out some codes for it and shit like a week or 2 ago. And I'm not a PC gamer guy. It's just not my thing. So I didn't even chase it.
But that's 3 or 4 of your friends, right? Can play.
I think it'll be 4,
Left 4 Dead.
Like
Left 4 Dead. So 4 of your players, Rob, is just, there's no online shooting or whatever. It's just you guys.
It's not against other people.
It's not against other people. It's you guys versus a zombie horde, basically. And
it's kind of like with COD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not fighting each other. We're all battling.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But with this,
I give it a shot.
There's an end. There's an end to what you do.
Right.
Well, COD, there's an end too. It's just how far you want to take it, or which way you want to go with it.
Never understood it. I think now there isn't there a version you can play where there's actually an end? Like you can play 30, 40 rounds and it just, you fight bosses and stuff and it ends, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That's
you build your weapons and yes.
So you know what? every person that plays a game like Zombies and all that has, I'm going to say it, they have Gears of War 2 to thank for that, because Horde mode introduced all that. That wasn't a thing before Gears 2.
No, everybody's doing a horde mode.
Yeah,
all good.
Yeah,
all good.
Yeah. Nobody even thought of it until Gears 2. And then everybody was doing it. The Horde, Zombies.
I was born into Black Ops 1, killing the zombies. I never liked I never liked the online play that much.
Yeah.
And
Black Ops 2. That was some good online play, sir.
Black Ops 2 was fun. I had probably my favorite Call of Duty.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked World War II, and I liked Cold War II. They're all by what's his name?
Yeah.
Who's the one that does that one? Why can't I Treyarch. That's it.
Treyarch. Yeah. That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah.
Are you digging this Zombies on the new Call of Duty, Rob?
Play religiously, yes.
Do you? Oh shit.
We need to do that. We haven't done any zombies.
I have not done Zombies.
Ooh, it's a fun zombie game too? Zombie Army Trilogy, and what was it, Zombie Army 4 or whatever it is. It's the same principle as Call of Duty.
I think, Rob, didn't you try that with us? You didn't like it.
I don't like the Fortnite thing where you could see the player. Like I like the
third person.
You like the first person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the first person. I'm not into where you could see your guy running around and stuff. And I don't like Fortnite. I tried. Maybe not Fortnite. What was it? Battle Royale or
PUBG?
Well,
PUBG. I hated it. I hated the way the guns felt.
We did too.
I'm not a big Battle Royale guy.
We tried Fortnite and we just didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
It was just.
I get it. When the kids today, they want stuff fast and they want to end the game.
But it's not fast though.
There's no camping.
Oh no, there is camping. That's what Fortnite partly is, because you go as your arena collapses, you have to move and stay within the circle where the arena is. So if you can hide somewhere and somebody runs past you and you shoot them, you have to be the last man standing.
The guns did not feel right to me on that game. They it just didn't. Somebody said there was some kind of game mechanic where the bullets go with the wind, right? So they could. Woo. Right, the gun shoot. Woo. They just didn't make any sense. And I'd be right up on next to the motherfucker, right? Boom, nothing would happen.
And then they'd turn around and shoot him.
I remember the one time me and Dr. T played Fortnite, and he actually was killing a few people. I'm behind him trying to help him. Dude, boom, nothing would happen. I'm like, and it looked like the bullet was going, woo. It didn't make any sense.
It's not for me. That's not That's it's gonna be the theme for the rest of the show. It's not my thing. I'm not that patient.
Fortnite described in one word.
I'm not that patient. For me, I want to get in. I'm not that I don't kind of hang back a little bit and watch for somebody or something, but to try and survive to be the last one and to hide and shoot and. It's just not my. It's not my bag. It's not for me. R5D4. Oh yeah, I know. I'm a Star Wars guy. I know. But just and the whole building aspect too. While you're building, you fuck around and get shot in the butthole.
I just never.
You know
I don't even understand that concept. But
well, Fortnite didn't start out as Battle Royale. It started out as a building game.
And then it did. Yeah.
They added the Battle Royale to copy PUBG, and then they just buried PUBG. Or not PUBG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fucking it's the biggest game in the world. It's crazy.
It is.
Wow.
It is.
It is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, guys. So where do you see this console war going from this point on?
Nowhere good.
No. Oh, elaborate, sir.
It's toxic. It's toxic. It doesn't no matter and I'm sure it's on both sides, but I don't follow guys on the Xbox side that are dickheads, I guess you could say. But it doesn't matter what Microsoft does. The guys that don't like Microsoft because they like PlayStation and that's their plastic of choice, they will find a way to insult what Microsoft is doing. And I'm sure it happens on the other side. But again, I don't follow those guys but so the guys that I follow on Twitter, like I said, the one that I was able to get the Xboxes and all that shit because of his tips, like he'll post some stuff about Xbox. And then one of these other guys that are in the community that they've done podcasts together and they tweet back and forth at each other. And then he'll make some kind of comment and they'll throw up all these memes and all this. And I'm just like, I don't understand. It's almost like politics in games. It's like either you're with Donald Trump or you're against Donald Trump and you're crazy and you're this and you're that. And that's what they've turned it into. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. It should.
I have seen Xbox.
I could give you names, but I'm not going to do that. I can give you names of guys, and it's ridiculous.
Now, I've seen Xbox guys really go after the Left 4 Dead. They didn't like that. They believe that one of the characters was a transgender character, and didn't they?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I
didn't know that happened.
They just destroyed the game of Last of Us 2, and there's a group that we follow.
Oh, Last of Us 2. You said Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why I was like, "What are you talking about?"
I'm sorry. Yeah, got Left 4 Dead. Last of Us 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one was gay, wasn't she, or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, who cares?
Yeah,
you mean people are gay in this world? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's one of my dogs.
Yeah. Hello, doggy.
That's Maddie.
But they destroy the Xbox guys are really. I mean, we're on a Facebook group. There's one guy that just destroyed for that reason, and the Last of Us 2 sucks because of this, or Last of Us 2 sucks because of that, and
that's really, that toxic.
And
part of that is part of it is they're jealous because they don't have that game on their system. Yeah, and to be honest, it looks like it'd be a good game. Mm-hmm. It does. I would probably enjoy playing it, but it's hard for me to spend $500 for one game. I can't do that. I'm not that guy. Now, like they have The Last of Us 2. There's a couple other games that look interesting. They were PlayStation 4, but they'll play on the PlayStation 5. Mm-hmm. So as that library gets a little bit bigger, I'm more interested in buying that system because I can play all those games.
I had wished at some point that there would be a big agreement between the big companies, or Sony and Microsoft would say, okay, let's start working together. We'll bring Last of Us 2 to the Xbox, or Xbox will say, okay.
That's what Microsoft's trying.
Yeah.
They're trying it with Game Pass.
The games are doing it. You know, like
well, you're doing crossplay.
Oh yeah,
crossplay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But I mean to actually play but you can here's something you probably don't know.
Halo on PlayStation 5, that kind of stuff.
Oh, let me tell you, there's a whole thing about that on the Twitterverse too. But right now
Twitter is toxic. Is what
it is. But there's a mode you can put the Series X in. It has the same software.
Oh, right, the developer mode. 2. I read people are doing this with a lot of
you can run PlayStation 2 games, emulate them perfectly on the Series X.
Oh,
because it has that software base built into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they're going to stop that or not, but I think Microsoft is trying to do that because Microsoft is looking at a future where there's not going to be consoles. Not that they're not going to. They'll continue to make them for old asses like us that want consoles, but Google all the Stadia. Kids, Google Stadia. That's something else too. Their Stadia isn't doing well, and you got Amazon with Luna, and they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to do streaming. Microsoft
I've never even heard of. Is that new? Amazon
Luna? Yeah, it's out. I don't know, maybe a month, 2 months.
Oh, is it out?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's in beta or I don't know, but Stadia is the same way. It's a streaming service. Mm-hmm. So what you're going to run into, this is going to be an issue for a lot of people because a lot of people have data caps on their internet. Sure. You know what I mean? Microsoft is doing the same thing, but they're also doing physical hardware.
Comcast just started doing their data cap January 1st. It's 1 point.
Is that nationwide?
Yes, they're capping at 1.2 terabytes of data.
That's some garbage. See, Verizon isn't, as far as I know, because I'll tell Verizon to eat a dick.
Yeah, we can't even get files here, but Comcast is capping starting now.
Well, you know why, right? Net neutrality. That got taken away. That's why.
There's an option to add unlimited for an extra $30 a month. Now, it's not that bad. I'm not that, it's not that expensive, but they're trying to nickel and dime you for your service. I looked at
watch though.
I looked at my capacity or what we've done in bandwidth over since October, and my house here, my wife, me, my brother, 6 terabytes a month. So this is going to be interesting to see
that's because you've been working from home too.
We're working from home. Yes, my brother's streaming Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my wife.
I'm sure you and the wife are, and all the things you're doing besides work.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting at the end of the month if I say, okay, should I just pay the $30 because that's how they're going to get people.
That shouldn't. But
that's
I
pure
hopefully
it is.
Hopefully, the new administration fucking puts net neutrality back on because the Trump administration pulled that off.
Yeah.
I think Biden might do that though.
Nah. It's too much money to be made. It's too much money to be made.
Yeah, but they weren't making that money before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, just in January they just finally took the cap off.
Yeah.
Or put the cap
because
on.
they lost over the last couple of years. They lost so many cable subscribers.
You're right. Oh, good call. Because that's something too that's stupid. Right. But you're right. Everybody's going to streaming.
Everybody's going to stream.
Which is so stupid.
Let's just do Netflix and let's do Hulu. But they've lost a lot of people probably. That's why they're doing that. They want that extra money.
Plus, they did all this COVID-free internet stuff, and
my wife's company did a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Comcast in this area gave away free cable, a lot of free cable to school kids and all that. And the right thing to do,
they can write that shit off on their taxes. Who are they fucking?
Yeah, but they're going to make the money back somehow. You know that.
Oh yeah.
They'll just write it off. The government will. You know what I mean?
Didn't Dr. T say earlier? Nothing is ever free.
Mm-hmm.
Damn right, nothing's ever free. Like another thing, we're talking about the data caps. What's so stupid about all these streaming services, CBS All Access, AMC Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I already pay $230 a month for my cable and internet and everything all together. I'm not paying, and I do Netflix because Netflix has a couple things on there, and your cable is what your cable is. There isn't always something good on.
Does Comcast include Netflix with your account, Rob?
No.
Comcast included Netflix for free
for a year, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I think I got it for a year or something. But
okay, so I got to figure out. Now I'm paying about $180. So if you add the $30, I'm worried about where you guys would be. $220,
right?
$230, whatever.
But see, I get gigabit internet as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Strong. You guys are still getting your 100 up, 100 down. I'm getting the gig up, gig down.
I'm paying for the 750 megabits per second.
See, so am I though, but that's with my whole bill.
Right.
And as far as I know, Verizon isn't data capping. I never got anything.
I don't think they
saying
are.
That they were.
No, they're going to get a lot of people jumping ship.
Yay, Verizon!
Yay, Verizon. I wish I would jump on FiOS instantly.
Oh, dude. I can't complain. The service is really good. I haven't had really any a little bug here and there, but it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
But overall, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. But Microsoft is also they're trying to do their xCloud, which is their streaming service. Mm-hmm. So you can play it on which they worked out a deal I heard with Apple as well. So you can get it on iOS, Android. You can. I don't know if you can
xCloud.
But yeah.
Okay.
And that's going to be that's part of your Game Pass Ultimate. That's all included. So you're paying your $14.99 a month. You can play games on PC. You can play it on your Xbox. You can play it on your phone. You can play it on your toaster, your refrigerator. You can play them anywhere as long as you have. Cool. Yeah, I mean, they're doing it right, and they're with their Game Pass. That's why they're adding all the studios. Mm-hmm. They're trying to be, and they've said it. They want to be the Netflix of gaming, and they are pushing to that. And Sony better catch up, or Sony's going to feel that pain. They will, because their exclusives are only going to get them so far.
Yeah,
Interesting. Well, I can't. I used to when Xbox Game Pass first came out, I was like, man, there ain't nothing on this thing. But they have done an incredible job of adding games, and all their new titles are included. That's a hell of a deal.
Day and date. Whenever it launches, it's on Game Pass.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is a hell of a deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you watch Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be on there sooner or later.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
I heard it ran pretty good on Stadia though, on Google Stadia.
I did hear that as well. I hear it runs okay on PC.
It
on
does.
Series S and X. And I think PlayStation 5, but the older generations. No, it's bad.
I've
Like
heard
it's
that.
I started looking into getting me some CD Project Red stock, to be honest with you.
Oh, did you?
There's my other one. There's my buddy.
Yeah, they're coming
There's
down
my
to see
voodoo
us.
down there. There he is. What are you doing, buddy? Say hi to everybody. What are you doing?
Oh, doggies. Guest starring
this is
Voodoo and Maddie.
Natty.
Yeah.
Natty.
Natty.
And I didn't name her. We adopted her. She already had that weird name.
That's all right.
Awesome. So yeah, I also agree with you, Mr. Dr. Teeth, that I believe that the console wars itself is just going to get more and more toxic for people.
Oh, it's so bad. I don't even know. I like, there was one guy I followed. Like I said, I'm not mentioning his name. I don't want to call him out, and it's not worth it. But he was an Xbox guy. He was one of the first guys I started following. Excuse you. He was one of the first guys I started following. And he was pro Xbox, and he may have, and maybe I just didn't notice it. It didn't seem like but I guess he probably did. He was bashing Sony, but I was Xbox, so he always had these big clickbait titles, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And then you watch it, and you're like, oh, this is stupid.
Yeah, that happens a lot on YouTube. I see that all the time.
He's so bad with it. Well, then he went to the Sony side, and he started doing the same thing. Oh, Sony just did this. Xbox is dead, and all this crazy shit, right? I just got tired of my YouTube feed coming up 2 times a day with his ridiculous videos, and he'd make them 10 minutes long, and it'd be a lot of rambling, because after 10 minutes, then you can get your ad revenue. I'm just so tired of I get it. You like PlayStation. I get it. Yeah. But I guess, the only way you're going to find a spot in the industry is to make a name. And right now, it's since 2013 when the Xbox One was announced, it was bash Microsoft. Now, again, some guys like the one, what's that?
Shock the system.
Yeah. It's not even shock the system, because everybody does it. I promise you, if you go on and do a search on YouTube, you will find so many channels that will just talk shit on Xbox.
Sure, yeah.
And part of it is because they're a PlayStation fan. Great, you're a PlayStation fan.
Right.
It's the Trump and Biden thing. It's,
yes,
it's exactly what it is.
Yes. And it shouldn't be that way.
I think
my dick is bigger than your dick. And
it is, though. Like, your dick is literally bigger than my dick, though.
It is. Gigantic.
I think both of you guys, your dick is bigger than my dick, but I think
they don't call me tripod for nothing.
And we already know about your foot.
That's right. Foot with no toes.
I think if anybody wants to take anything away from this, is you don't have to be toxic to enjoy something.
No, you don't. You don't. Yeah. I don't understand it. I mean,
I love
politics.
I love Xbox, right? I think I'll like Xbox more than PlayStation regardless, just because of how many friends I made and, the fun I have playing Xbox. But
exactly,
man, I like me some PlayStation exclusives as well.
Right. And this is the whole thing too. Like you got these PlayStation guys. Oh, Xbox got no games. Again, like I said earlier, you say that now, but in a couple years. Now, here's another thing. Like, right now, Microsoft can't say, oh, all these Bethesda titles are only going to be on Xbox and PC and the platforms they support. They can't do that because the deal isn't finished yet. Right. But once they finish that deal and ZeniMax is theirs, they're going to go, this is in Game Pass, this is in Game Pass, this is in Game Pass. And that's it. You can play it on PC, you can play it on your phone, you can play it on your Xbox, but you can't play it on PlayStation.
Every time you say ZeniMax, it makes me think of Cinemax. And, my dad
Skinemax.
Yeah, my dad watching softcore like porn as I'm like trying to sleep on the couch.
Oh yeah. The titty
they need Cinemax is what they need. And
right. A little bit of Skinemax, Mo.
Exactly.
My loyalty to a system is to the game. That's really my loyalty to the system. Call of Duty's on both. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm going to throw Sony a bone here because their controller is out. Their new controller, I think, is outstanding.
That's what I've heard.
Comparing, I bought a SCUF controller for my PlayStation 4 just that it looked like an Xbox controller. Like, I never was a fan of the PlayStation 3 controller, and I know millions of people love their PlayStation controller. I hated it. I absolutely despised it. Enough to spend $150 on a SCUF or however much it was to make it more like a Xbox controller. But man, I really dig their PlayStation 5 controller. I think they did a heck of a job with it.
Oh yeah, it looks like
Spider-Man game. The Spider-Man game is bigger than what you're thinking. You know, Miles Morales he's going to be bigger than Peter Parker.
Well, here's my one problem with Miles Morales. They did the same thing with Uncharted. I'm not saying it's not a good story and all that. I'm not taking anything away, but it was a DLC. And they said, oh, it's a standalone game. You don't charge $40 for a standalone game. You charge $60 for a standalone game.
No, I completely disagree, because how many times do we spend $59.99 on a standalone game throughout the years? $49.99 now for a 12-hour plus story is worth the money.
Well, but I'm saying though, that was DLC they had planned.
It was DLC they had planned, and they just turned it into
it's a game
standalone title.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's where the little bit of shady. They did the same thing with Uncharted 4
with the two girls one. Yeah, I have that as well.
Yeah,
they're trying something with Call of Duty 2, you know, with the skins and the guns.
Well, but there's their skins, you know that. Map packs, when you bought map packs, you paid, what was it, $10, $20 or whatever. Like, you knew it was just maps. You knew that.
Yeah,
but they were making it out like the Spider-Man game. The Spider-Man game was a game. It was a $60 big blockbuster. How many, 30, 50 hours, whatever it was. I didn't play it, so I can't tell you. What's that?
They lied.
Yeah.
He straight up lied.
I just saw your dog go up the stairs, and I was just thinking how great it would be if she just like took a shit on your floor, like right while you were recording this.
That's so weird. That's so weird. I don't even know why you'd want to see that.
That would be weird. Like the ultimate video. Like I would have to. I don't know.
I feel like that's weird and gross, and it should never happen. And I feel like
that'd be the perfect video that we'd have to have on our channel. The dog shitting video.
Dog shitting videos.
Anyway, I believe that Miles Morales is actually worth the money. And
I'm not saying it's not worth the money, but don't tell me
pretty much better than
it's a standalone game.
Anything that Xbox has out in the market.
Sure,
right
it is absolutely.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not taking, and another thing that again, this is the bullshit. Is Sony was like, we believe in generations. When Microsoft was like, you know, you can play Xbox One and Series X. You can play together. Sony's like, we believe in generations. Then the pandemic hit, and they were like, well, you can get Miles Morales. Because Miles Morales was supposed to be PS5 only. And then when the pandemic hit and people couldn't get PlayStations and didn't have the money, well, you got a PlayStation 4. Here you go.
I would have bought Miles Morales on PS4 and then bought it again on PS5 if I had to. That's how much I like it.
We understand you like the game.
I mean,
we get it.
And that's something too. Microsoft is, but that's something else that Microsoft is doing too. Any game that you buy on Xbox One is short of an Activision game, because Activision are douchebags. If it's a Microsoft title, if they up-res it and all that shit for Series X, it's free.
It's free. Yeah, that is good.
Yep. PlayStation charge you $10. Come on, I already bought the game. You know what I mean? You already did the work. Come on.
One last question, because I know we're getting into getting late here, but $69.99 for new PlayStation games, is that the norm now?
That's gonna be. It's gonna be. Who was the first one that started it?
Demon's Souls.
Was it 2K? Was it 2K? I think were the first ones.
Okay.
I believe it was 2K.
Okay, but when was the last price bump? What, 2000?
I agree with you. It's been a long time.
I mean, it's been a long time.
I hear you. I hear you, but now when people are struggling for money a little bit, maybe you could have kept it for $59.99.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, it's money's money. You're going to make it if
money's
people
money.
will spend it. I think it was due. Because we've been paying now Microsoft, I don't think they've done it yet. I don't think they've taken that step yet.
I see Demon's Souls on PlayStation for $69.99 is why I'm asking. I haven't bought it yet.
Yeah. I think if it's a Microsoft title, like a Gears of War type title, something that Microsoft owns, I don't think it's $10 up. Now Activision did it. 2K did it. I don't know if I'm sure EA did because it's fucking EA. So
yeah, EA's a monster on its own.
Oh my god! And they owe everybody for Anthem. Anthem was so freaking bad.
As much as I wanted to like that game,
we tried so hard. It's so cool, man. You haven't played it. It's like flying around like Iron Man. You have a suit, and you get to fly around like Iron Man.
And the mechanics.
That's where the
coolness so good.
Stops.
It feels it's so awesome. But then the story just went to shit like right away.
That's where the coolness stops. Is right there.
Yeah,
your Iron Man suit is it.
That's it.
It had potential. It had they were like, oh, it's going to be the Destiny killer, and it could have been.
Yeah.
But man, they just
dropped the ball.
They dropped it. Oh.
So I got one last question for Dr. Teeth, and this is not video game related.
You can't see my penis.
I already have.
All right. Well, if you ask, you
okay.
Go.
So, I want to ask this question: the animated 1984 Transformers film.
Yes.
How do you feel about Hot Rod?
Here we go. All right. I'm with you, Rob. I hate Hot Rod.
No, let's go.
It's so bad. It's so now. Don't get me wrong. Hot Rod as a character, okay. Rodimus Prime, okay.
Get out of here! You guys don't even know what you're saying.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm saying.
So
I know exactly.
Sawdust got into Rob's brain tonight, and I think it traveled downward into Dr. T's house. And
I don't understand. It's a minivan with flames on it. I don't understand where the coolness is. Could you explain? I mean, is that what, now that you're a father, are you going to get a minivan and paint flames on it and call it Rodimus Prime?
You know what? That's a good idea, motherfucker.
It is. That's going to say that
Hot Rod was the best thing to happen to Transformers.
What?
Oh, you're the only kid not crying in the fucking movie theater then. Traumatized everybody.
I know. I was like, they did what to Optimus? No, not Optimus.
And I'm there, yes, Hot Rod.
Yeah, that is so wrong, dude. That's so wrong. Seriously, no.
What's wrong with you, bro?
So we can take away from this conversation as well as the video game stuff that Hot Rod is the greatest Transformer of all time, I think.
Oh, no, I'm afraid we can't do that. I'm afraid that's not a thing. Seriously, no. And what was the other one? The Ultra Magnus. He'd have been cooler than Rodimus Prime. Get the fuck out. And who came up with that name? Rod up my ass Prime? I don't get it.
You guys are killing me.
It was a minivan. It was a minivan.
I think you're outnumbered here, Greg.
I bet you all 24 followers, 23 of them are like, fuck Rodimus Prime.
No.
I'm telling you, I feel like it's a thing.
Wow.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
So,
I don't get it. Wait. Explain to me what was cool about it.
Oh man.
Not Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime.
I love
Hot Rod. Was a cool car.
When you say
Hot Rod.
when you say Rodimus Prime, my brain clouds. I hear Hot Rod. Hot Rod is awesome.
Well, yeah, Hot Rod.
Right.
But Hot Rod became Rodimus Prime, which was the worst leader in Autobot history.
Right, I got your answer right here. You ready? You got to touch. You got to touch.
Oh my god!
Autobots,
so bad.
Transform and roll out. That's your answer right there.
Every kid was crying in the movie theater, but you, bro.
Everyone. What do you got? Why you got to hate Optimus Prime like that? I
never said I didn't. That I hated Optimus Prime.
Now again, Hot Rod in general, the car, the actual car. When he was Hot Rod, he was all right. He was a punk. He was a Hot Rod.
Right.
But then they turned him into.
He was no leader.
What Hot Rod what happens to a man when he has 7 kids and he becomes an accountant. That's what Rodimus Prime is. He's the accountant of the bunch. That's what they turned him into.
You got the touch.
And that's something I never understood either. Why would you take a Hot Rod car and turn it into a minivan to be the leader? I don't understand
who he is as a leader.
I don't understand the correlation.
It was attachment issues. Optimus had the trailer. He needed attachment issues.
I guess.
Size
Yours is bigger
of
than
the
mine.
vehicle issues.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't understand it. They could have just made him a cooler car.
After all that's said and done.
Oh, don't quit your day job. I'm just saying, that's not your singing ain't your thing.
All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. Thank you, Dr. Teeth, for joining us.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
And thank you, Rob. And we'll talk to you next time.
All right. Hey,
yes.
Check me out on Xbox Live, Dr. Teeth. I'm streaming on Twitch. I don't have many followers, maybe 2 or 3. Voodoo Gaming 75. That's me.
You can see it.
I'm going to get drunk and talk shit. That's what I'm going to do.
Sounds good to me. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep.